Hello, BookShark BootCamp. It's your community manager, Jana. It's Monday, August 10th, and this is session 5 Q&A. Now, we didn't have any questions posted from our YouTube channel. I'll go over here and make sure we don't have any comments yet. We did have a question posted on our Facebook group. So for those of you who are watching on our YouTube channel, just know that you can put any of your questions to our sessions in the comments, and then I will make sure to go in and answer those either in the comment section or live here when we do our next session. If you are in our boot camps, please tag me in your questions so that I can see them right away. We will again have an influx of new members throughout the next several months as people get their orders, people start homeschooling, they start their new school year. So we are going to have some maybe repeat questions or questions that I'm going to answer that pertain to the first half or the last half of our bootcamp sessions in this 8-week course. But if you don't tag me, I might not see them. I try my best to go through them. This is the Q&A about session 5, which was structuring your homeschool day. We talked about what it would look like for a typical day of your homeschool. Not my homeschool, not anybody else's homeschool, but your homeschool. And I want you to understand how very important that is. It needs to be what works for you and your family. If you didn't get a chance to watch session 5, I encourage you to do so. If you are watching and you were talking like, what is session 5? I just started. What are you talking about? On our Facebook private group, underneath the banner that says Bootcamp 2026 BookShark, there will be a tab for guides. That is where you want to go and start with session number 1. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, go to our playlist, BookShark Bootcamp 2026, and our playlist for session 1 will get you started in this 8-week course of BookShark's Bootcamp. Now, if you are on our YouTube channel or you're an alum member, you know that you can go back and watch from the last 4 years, 5 years of us doing this. We started doing the boot camp for BookShark kind of in response to 2020, but we found that it was so very helpful. And because our customers are all over the United States and all over the world, this was a solution to make sure that you get the help and support that you need from BookShark in your journey. I will again announce something very exciting. BookShark sponsors a podcast called Homeschool Your Way. Our 200th episode is being released tomorrow, which is August 11th. It is just a really fun kind of throwback to a bunch of our either convention reps, our BookShark advisors who you possibly have talked to before you ordered. The representatives are the ones you may have talked to if you had gone out to any of the homeschool conventions. And then we do have some charter school liaisons and associates that are out and about actually again this week. So we got those voices and we asked some typical questions that people want to know about BookShark. I love this episode because it kind of gives you some perspective from those of us who have not only been doing homeschool and BookShark for years and have graduated children. Some of us are just graduating children, or we have just kind of launched them out. There's other voices who have adult children who are who are a little bit further along in their journey. And then we do have some parents that are still right in the thick of it. So I'm excited about the 200th episode. I hope that you get a chance to listen to it, share it with your friends. If you've been trying to explain what BookShark is or why you chose BookShark, this may be a great episode to help give you the words that you need to be able to share why you're so passionate about your educational choice for this year or for the years to come. Very excited about that. So be looking for that. That will be out tomorrow, August 11th, for the 200th episode of the Homeschool Your Way podcast. All right, you guys, the only question that I found, and I want to make sure that I didn't skip any questions, but one of the parents, one of our members on our boot camp on the Facebook group is asking about transcripts. And this is something that a lot of people worry about when they choose to homeschool their kids. If you are looking to put something together to launch your children into a brick and mortar for high school and or concurrent enrollment, or if you are graduating students and you need a transcript to send to the college with their college applications. Some colleges ask for transcripts. Some colleges just want to see well, I'm not even going to say, every college is different. So you're just going to have to figure out when you're ready, when you're at that point, what they're looking for. But in general, a transcript, your high school transcript, when my girls were going to a brick and mortar concurrent enrollment, they went into high school, my older two. And again, because BookShark didn't have any levels for us to do, but now we do, they needed to see what the girls had done the previous year in their 8th grade year. So my first suggestion, and really my only suggestion, you don't need to pay for a transcript service. Now, if that makes you more comfortable, then all means go ahead. But you can certainly create your own transcripts. There are free templates out there. So you can create your own. We know Google and AI and all the things can pretty much spot on create things now without us knowing how to do a spreadsheet or all the ins and outs of how to make a form. I typically will look at the levels description. So when I did my older two, when the high school college wanted to see what they had done in 8th grade, I went and looked at the titles of what they had done that went with each level. And that's what I put. So they did History J for their 8th grade. Did not do that with my younger one. Do not recommend that J is 8th grade unless you really have a science minded or that is your kind of track going into high school. It's definitely a more of a high school level, but that's what they did. And so it was the history of science was actually the history course. And then they did this science labs, which counted as their lab. And then we did classical literature, which would have been their language arts. And then we put their math on there. And at that time, my girls were still doing Saxon. So I just use the course as the course description is the title. And that's what I use. Now, again, you can tweak that. You can ask for some AI help with that if you want to flower it up or make it seem if you feel like it's not descriptive enough. I know one of the BootCamp members who actually posed the question had said she is blending world high school history with Eastern Hemisphere history, which makes me so excited because she didn't know about Eastern Hemisphere and her student is already at that high school level. So she's going to be blending some of that. And she was just asking what would be the best course title to put on there. And she came up with some ideas and I think they're great. So get creative. They really just want to see that work was done, quite honestly. And I don't know, again, depending on your state, I have been in 2 different states now homeschooling my daughters, and we have not had any issues with transcripts. Even let you put, like, if you outsource a class, I just put that right on the transcript and put the score on there. It's really quite simple. So don't be intimidated by that. And I feel like BookShark makes it really easy by giving you guys descriptors on each of the levels. And so you can make that happen quite easily for you. That was really the only question. We had some great feedback. We had a BootCamp member who was encouraged when I said that they should get their child's feedback or buy in to structuring their homeschool day, how they wanted to do it. I will say I told my girls, I will let you do it your way. And if it doesn't work, then we're going to do it my way. So that always seemed to work really well for us. We didn't really have any issues. My girls got their schoolwork done. They are now, the older two, like I said, are out in the college world and finishing up. One's going to be finishing up this year. My youngest, the senior in high school, who just turned 17 yesterday, she is actually full-time now at the community college. So really, I am wrapping up here with our homeschool years. This would be my last year of a technical high school student, even though really she's a college student, but finishing up her high school diploma. I posted a question this morning about what books you guys were excited to read, and I'm going to put that out there to our YouTube watchers as well. When you're unpacking your books, what are you getting excited about? I always loved, even though I saw the book list, I knew what was included, when that box came and I started unpacking those books, to actually like touch the book and read the description and flip through some of the pages. I know I'm sounding like the biggest geek ever, but I never got over that. I don't think I'll ever get over that. So I commented that in our new government and econ level for high school, I was excited. Killers of the Moon is in our historical literature for that level for the government and econ. And I did not know that it was a historical literature. So that is one title that, although I don't necessarily have a student who's going to be doing this brand new level, I might be able to talk her into it. I am excited about reading that book in particular. I think it's really going to put a view of our history that I don't have a lot of knowledge of. And I'm a lifelong learner, you guys. I was homeschooled. I want to keep learning until the day where my brain just no longer works. So I'm excited about that title in particular. I'd love to hear if you guys are excited about any of the titles. I know some of our books are to some obscure or classic or antiquated, but if you haven't read them, I just really encourage you to get excited, get your kids excited about these titles that, they would never have picked up. They might have just walked past if they were in a bookstore and or a library. So we get this opportunity to open our children's eyes to a whole new world of literature that we have not even been exposed to. So learn alongside your kids. Think about how you're structuring your day. If you guys have more questions, I'm happy to answer those in the thread as we work through this this week of our boot camp. Wednesday, our live for session 6 is going to be staying organized throughout your entire year. So we did box day. We told you how to organize your books. We told you what your, excuse me, had you print out the calendar, what your year, kind of get an idea of what your year looks like. Last week, we talked about structuring the day, how you're going to use your time in the 4 days to get BookShark done that you have. Now, next week, or Wednesday, which is this week, our next session is going to be about structuring and organizing your entire year, how you're going to stay organized. You have a goal, which is to get through your 36 weeks of curriculum, and it's your goal. So you get to decide what that looks like for you. I'm here to help you stay on task for the year and give you tips on what that looks like and how you're going to accomplish it. So that's going to be Wednesday on our next live. I look forward to talking to you guys about that. Keep those questions coming. I'd love to hear about the title of books that you guys are getting excited about. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Have a great Monday.